Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the very first episode of Not a Card Maker card tutorial. Hi guys, I am Becky and I am not a card maker, but today I'm giving it a shot. First up, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the products that we'll be using today. I did pull out 3 ink colors of Distress Oxide. I picked Peacock Feathers, Squeezed Lemonade, and picked Raspberry. You can see each of them have one of the mini blending foams on top. We're going to be using those with one of the mini distress blending tools. Here's the picked raspberry. I love these colors together. I know we have the Peacock Feathers and the picked raspberry still available at Close to My Heart. Here I'm showing you the blending tool. We're also going to be using some of this Dina Wakley white gloss spray. For stamps, we'll be using the stamp of the month from September 2019 called Random Act of Cardness. We'll be using it for this Sending a Smile. I'm also going to end up pulling another one from that same set that we'll use. Here is where it was. It was the stamp of the month 2019 in September. The stamp of the months are really awesome. We're also going to be using this Udderly Wonderful stamp and thin cut set. I am going to be using the stamp and thin cut set. You can also just stamp and fussy cut if you'd like. We'll be using white daisy cardstock as well as black ore paper. Right here, this stuff's pretty amazing. We'll also need stamp blocks. Here I pulled 2 out, and black ink. I'm going to be using the Archival black right here by Close to My Heart. For the cuts, there will be 3 in white daisy cardstock. We have 5.25 by 3.75. We'll have 3 by 3, and we'll have 3.75 by 2.75. Using the black ore paper, we'll cut a piece of 3 by 4. Now you'll need some type of foam or cushion to stamp on. I'll be using a Sizzix stamp mat that I don't know, I've picked up somewhere along the way. Our first step in making our card front will be inking up the largest piece of the white daisy cut that we made. It's the 5.25 by 3.75. I'm going to start with the yellow. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Squeezed Lemonade. I'm going to start in the top left hand corner of my card right here, and I'm just going to start inking in a circular motion just like that. I am making sure I get plenty of ink on my tool. So then I'm going to go ahead and switch out to my next color, which is Peacock Feathers. If you're following along with me, you could be using different stamps around about-ish the same size and different inks. If you do that, I'd love to see how your card comes out. This one right here, I'm going to be putting at the bottom right of the card. Right here, I just picked up some paper towel and put it on my finger. My fingers have ink on them, and I didn't want to smudge the card. So yes, I just wrapped a little bit of a paper towel around my fingers there so I could hold the card without ruining it. Now we're going to switch it up to picked raspberry, which is the pink, and I'm going to put it in the center. I love how going up into the yellow, it's that corally orangey color, so pretty. And I love how going down into the Peacock Feathers, it is that purple. These are all just absolutely beautiful colors. Like, I love this color palette. In fact, I've made 2 more cards since then. We might do a card tutorials for those depending on how this goes, but we'll see. I did do 2 more with the same color scheme and the same inks. I just love it. I love it. Okay, so for me, I am batch card making. I'm making 12 of these cards. So I'm going to finish mine up doing all the yellow, then all the peacock feather colors, and then all of the pink, where I'm just going to finish them all up like you would a stage. Here are the 3 by 3 cards that we cut out for White Daisy. Again, you were coloring them exactly the same. I already showed you the technique on the other one. And again, I'm doing a lot of cards, so you can see I'm inking up plenty. So we are doing this with the largest piece, the 5.25 by 3.75, and we're also doing this with the 3 by 3 piece. Next, we're going to work more on the base of our card. I wanted to go ahead and put some white splatters on there. I love the white splatters, and I am using that Dina Wakley white acrylic gloss spray. It is so fun. I am mostly paying attention to when I'm splattering. It's just random, right? I'm mostly paying attention to the edges and corners. Generally going from top left to bottom right, but the center is going to have something over it, so we don't really need to pay attention to that. Next, we're going to go ahead and stamp our cow image. Now, if you'll recall, I said I got the stamp in thin cuts. For me, the way I like to do it is I like to cut the thin cut first and then stamp. Some people like to stamp and then do the thin cut. Whatever way is the way you like, that's the correct way to do it, okay? If you don't have the stamp in thin cuts, this is a very easy image to fussy cut. If you just have the stamp, you can stamp the stamp and fussy cut around her. I did name her. Her name is Pop Art Petunia. We will call her Petunia for short. I do have a lot of these to stamp. I thought I would put an extra little one in the cards that I send just for fun. Next, we're going to start working on stamping our sentiment that is going to be on the front of our card. I am using the Archival black. I had it out for another project and I was really just loving how deep it's stamped. So yeah, I'm still playing around with that ink. I'm loving the way it's stamping. So the piece we are stamping on is a 3.75 by the 2.75. This little piece right here is going to house our sentiment. And we are going to also border it, and it's also going to house our cow. So you can see right here, I am taking my time. You can see my little block. I got black around it. I'm being very careful not to rock the block so that that black doesn't transfer onto my white piece here. Now again, I do have a ton of these to stamp, so look how beautiful that is. That stamped so good, didn't it? I love that Archival ink. Oh, love it. Anyways, I have a ton of these to stamp, so I'm going to go ahead and get on my way with this. Next, we are going to go ahead and adhere our sentiment card to the black ore paper that we have already cut out. I hate that I am wasting so much of this black ore paper. It is so gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of a shiny tuxedo, like a black tuxedo with a little bit of shimmer in it. I think that black ore would be perfect on wedding pages. Oh, it is so gorgeous. But I will stop going on about the black ore. We are adhering our little block with our sentiment onto the black ore. Again, I've got a lot more to do, so let's get on with it. All right, guys, go ahead and get out your backgrounds with the splatters. These right here. Again, like I said, I am doing a batch, so I have a lot more than you do. Perhaps you're just making one, or perhaps you're just watching. So this next step, we're just going to go ahead and sit this right there. Just tape it down, and that's pretty much it. Again, on here, I do not measure anything. I am just eyeballing it. And I have found, because that's how I scrapbook, I have found that with card making, I can get away less with eyeballing than I can with scrapbooking. It's probably because it's on a smaller scale. So if you're like a perfectionist, perhaps you want to do measurements or something to make them the same. I don't know. I'm not that much of a perfect person, and I enjoy making these. I'm sending these to my friends, so they know me, you know. They know me. They know it's going to be a little bit crooked or whatnot. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is work a little bit more on our stamped images. If this is where you need to fix something on your stamped image, this is the time to do it. On mine, I wanted to have the catch light in Petunia's eyes. You know, I wanted that little white in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Jelly Roll pen and go through all of them to do that. You can see, if this camera focuses ever, the difference that it makes. I'm going to show you another Petunia, see, and then do her eyes. Perfect. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and move on to foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead and pop all of my petunias that I'm going to be using on cards. I'm going to pop 12 petunias up on some foam tape. You can see here I am using the 1mm foam tape by Close to My Heart. Sometimes I do use the circles. The circles, I couldn't find any. I'm out. I need to order some more of the circles because I probably would have used the circle ones on here. But this is what I had. So yes, all my petunias are getting 2 strips of foam tape and then 1 little piece on each ear. This might be an overkill, and then also you might be thinking, Becky, this is something silly to keep in your video. We all know about foam tape. But do we all? I mean, do we all know about foam tape, guys? Some people don't. So here you go. This is how you get a little bit of dimension on your card. Look at that shadowing behind Petunia. Super cute. Pop that sucker up and it gives this card so much more than it had before going in. Good. We're peeling off the back right now. And then we'll stick her down again. I am not measuring. I'm kind of trying just to make sure her ears are about the same, going from side to side. And sometimes on some of the cards, I actually tilt her a little bit to one way or the other to get it to be a closer match. But that is what our card front is going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my 12. Okay, here I am showing you the cards and envelopes that I'm going to be using. You can make your own card bases and you can make your own envelopes if you want to, or buy your envelopes and make your card bases. I don't make cards that often, so I didn't choose to do it that way. I wanted my envelope to have a little something extra. Like I said, I am sending these to my friends slash customers, and I wanted there to be just a little bit of happy. This does serve a great purpose. I know the last time I made a batch of these, John took them to the post office, and even the mail guy that took them, he gave John a weird look and smiled. So it made even the mailman's day or the mail guy's day, right? So I really do like to have a little something on the outside of the envelope. I think it is really cute. Here I am showing you the Utterly Wonderful. It says, "You are utterly wonderful." This is what we are going to stamp on the inside of our card. Now, when I do my cards, if I'm doing more than one card, I like to keep them flat. I don't like to fold them up. So right here, I'm going to show you that I'm going to stamp this when it's flat out. We are using that Archival ink again. But here we are using the Utterly Wonderful stamp. It is on the same stamp set as the cow image from the front. The image that we put on our envelope is from that stamp of the month, the Random Act of Kindness from September 2019. Anywho, we're stamping the "You are utterly wonderful" on the inside of the back, just like that. Now here I'm showing you, okay, well, you can fold it if you want to and do it. And that's how I would do it if I had like one card. But when I'm stamping, I have to kind of put my hand out to the side to kind of lay that down. If I hadn't have folded it, I wouldn't be having to worry about that, right? So if I'm doing more than one, I will just leave them flat. If I'm doing only 1, 2, whatever, just a small amount, I'll fold them. But yes, here I'm showing you that you can do it either way. Whichever way you choose, that's the right way. How cute is this? I know, I love it. Now we're going to go ahead and put on the card front. Again, with the card front, the same. I would rather do it flat if I'm doing many, but if I'm not doing many, folded is fine. You can see right here, I am using liquid adhesive. This is going to leave me a little bit of a border all the way around, and you can see the borders aren't even with the measurements that I gave you. That is where it comes in that not a Cardmaker card tutorial. So yeah, you can see I messed up the dimensions already. There's a thicker line over to the sides than there are on the top and bottom, but as far as I'm concerned, I meant to do that, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. This card is so cute. So here you go with the little cow sending a smile. "You are utterly wonderful." And look at the envelope, made with love. And I did make these with love. I really enjoyed doing this, and I really enjoyed doing a tutorial video. I'm going to come up in real time with you here in just a moment. Hi guys, I'm sitting outside today. So that was my first ever tutorial video. Let me know if that is something you would like to see going forward. I have designed 2 more cards in the month of March. Let me show them to you. Here's card 1. And here is card 2. If you would like to see a tutorial, a card tutorial again next week, let me know if you want to see card number 1 or card number 2. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.